management, reliability engineering, performance management. Please, for the class, I want us to have all mic muted. And in case you have any question, please just signify by raising up your hand. Use the raise up icon. I'll definitely call on you, or possibly towards the end of the training, we're definitely going to have like 10, 20 minutes question and answer section. So we are certified training center for Institute of Project Management and also for business analysts. We run some computer programs like Oracle and like Primavera, P6. These are all areas where we function. I can see a comment in the comment section. Okay, Mr. Jacob, you might try to check your internet because I can see almost everybody can hear me clearly. Please kindly confirm you can hear me. Mr. Powers, can you hear me clearly?
Can hear you clearly, sir.
Yes,
okay.
we can hear you.
Very, very loud and clear, sir.
Okay, Mr. Jacob, I think you may need to like try to work on your internet. So, as far as asset management is concerned, these are areas where we function. I may not be able to mention all of them. Asset lifecycle maintenance strategy development. We do planning and scheduling. We do topology and lubrication excellence training. We provide training in maintenance effectiveness and assessment. We as well provide training in preventive maintenance optimization. Total productive maintenance as well. These are all areas where we focus. Then in terms of reliability and engineering, you can contact Dexnova as far as reliability center maintenance is concerned. Criticality assessment, if you want to run criticality assessment in your company, then we do failure mode and effect analysis, reliability analysis, root cause, failure analysis, and bad actor identification. We help people to set up asset health analysis as well. And we have some few clients that we're still working with, and we still continue working with them. Shell Engineering, Chevron, ExxonMobil, Nestle Milo, Unilever, and these are companies that we provide services for before. We're still providing services for them, and we're still in business relationship with them as well. Fine, let me just pick up one or two people and ask how they got to know about CMRP. I have Mr. Ademola Kolawole. Let me call on you first, Mr. Ademola Kolawole, if you can hear me. How did you get to know about CMRP?
Yes, yeah, actually, I followed that. Been following that over for a while now. I actually just received an email notification, so I decided to sign up for the webinar.
Okay.
But I actually originally learned about them from social media, actually.
Okay, from social media.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I think I have Mr. Batmo Stephen. Mr. Batmo, please unmute your speaker and go ahead. Tell us how you got to know about CMRP. It's like I'm not getting any response from Mr. Matthew. Mr. Batman, Stephen, I can't hear you. Okay, I have a lady CMRP in the house. Let me put it that way. Chinese Adufe. How did you get about CMRP? How did you get to know about CMRP? Chinese Adefuke. Pardon me if I didn't pronounce that name very well. Chinese, are you there? Okay, let me have Mr. Deji Elanga. Mr. Deji. I want to believe everybody can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, you are loud and clear. Can hear
Okay,
you.
Mr. Emmanuel Cole. Emmanuel Cole, please. How did you get to know about CMRP? So I want to believe people doesn't want us to know how they got to know about CMRP. Okay, let me try and see if I can do justice to that. Let me bring up this slide. So I can show what CMRP is all about. Yeah, in reliability and maintenance, there is a body, and the name of that body is SMRP. That is Society for Maintenance and Reliability Professional. Every maintenance and reliability practitioners are expected to be member of that professional body. It is completely open for everybody to join, to log in. But for you to be a member, you actually have to pay the membership fee. And I'm going to tell us how much the membership fee is. Then the second thing is that there is another option, there is another body which is basically attached to SMRP. And that body is SMRPCO. SMRPCO. That is Society for Maintenance and Reliability Professionals Certifying Organization. The main function of SMRPCO is to certify experts who has gone through the CMRP training, write the CMRP exam, and pass the CMRP exam. This is the only body that award certification to people who have passed the exam. So, and once you pass the exam, you earn CMRP, which is Certified Maintenance and Reliability Professional. So you become a certified maintenance and reliability professional once you write the exam and you pass the exam. And let's discuss some brief thing about CMRP. In 1992, a group of 18 companies got together to set up an organization of professionals to promote the exchange of ideas for maintenance and reliability. And when they come up together, they have 4 areas that they are actually focused on, which happen to be their objective. The first area is how they can facilitate exchange of information through a structured network of maintenance and reliability experts. And that's why reliability is not only in building environment. We have SMRP professionals in aviation industry. We have in oil and gas industry. We have in transportation industry. We have in several companies. We have them in manufacturing company. Then how do we exchange ideas within ourselves? Because maintenance and reliability in a building environment might be a bit different, but the bedrock is the same thing. Then the second objective is how do we support maintenance as an integral part of business management? Before, we also see maintenance as a relationship whereby you deal with both and not. You're more or less like a repair engineer. But CMRP or SMRP is changing that orientation completely, that we are not just all about getting an equipment back to operation. We are more concerned about how much it costs us. We work as a business manager as well. And how do we work as a business manager? We have our team who are working under us. Then we talk about what people management, we talk about leadership, we talk about business strategies, we talk about tactical plan, talk about company vision, mission, and objectives. Because every maintenance activity might one way or the other be impacting on the company EBITDA, which is earning before interest and taxation. Every company wants to make profit. But if maintenance is not well structured, if maintenance work management is not well managed, if maintenance key leading indicators are not well structured, it could be costing us a lot of money. And, you know, we actually mostly believe that once there is a breakdown, the only money we are actually going to lose is the cost of repair. No, as far as maintenance is concerned, the cost you are losing is not just only the cost of getting the equipment back to operation. You're losing cost in terms of manpower. You are losing costs in terms of administrative expenses. You are losing costs in terms of lack of production. You are losing costs because you cannot meet your customers' expectations as well. These are diverse areas where we're losing money. Then the third objective is present a collective voice on maintenance and reliability issue and advance innovative maintenance and reliability practices. If Mr. A leave aviation industry and started working in oil and gas environment, as far as you are a certified reliability expert, the reliability processes and activities still continue, irrespective of where you find yourself in the field of maintenance. Then the fourth objective is to promote and support maintenance and reliability education at all levels. When you join CMRP as a member of CMRP, you stand a chance of attending free training, at times 3 times in a month, at times 4 times in a month. And the other advantage of this is that when you earn your certificate, the certificate lasted for 3 years. After 3 years, you need to get recertified. But via the training you attended, when you attend a 1-hour training through CMRP portal, you earn a point to yourself. And by the time you accumulate these points within a span of 3 years, this point will be more enough for you to get recertified. These are all the advantage of being a member, to promote and support maintenance and reliability education at all levels, irrespective of where you find yourself. CMRP started in the year 1996. And as at that time, they have altogether 782 members. And by year 2000, Mr. Jacob, can you have your speaker muted, please?
The number again. Oh yeah.
And by the end of 2005, they've successfully conducted over 2,000 exams. Initially, CMRP exam used to be a written-based exam. But when SMRP conducted the analysis and audit, they discovered that a lot of hanky-panky, a lot of malpractices going on with paper exam, and they put an end to paper exam from them. And all SMRP exam is now a Prometric Center-based exam. You have to go to a Prometric Center to write the exam. It's no longer a paper exam anymore. And currently now, there are over 4,000 certified members worldwide, and in over different countries, which are more than 47. And then when you are talking about, for you to earn your CMRP, CMRP has 5 body of knowledge, which is the BOK. You have the business management, you have production and process. You have equipment reliability, and you have organization. Trained before you go ahead to write the exam. And in this 5 areas, under business management, you start talking about how do we create business direction, strategic direction, and plan for maintenance and reliability operation. How do we administer strategic plan? How do we measure our performance? How do we manage organization plan? How do we communicate with stakeholders? Then there's no how you can run a successful SMRP. There's no how you can run a maintenance and reliability without talking about HSC, which is health, safety, environment, and security. Then the under production and process reliability, we have you have to understand applicable processes, apply processes, improvement technique, manage effects of change to process and equipment, maintain process in accordance with applicable standard and regulations. The under equipment reliability, we discuss on determine equipment reliability expectation, evaluate equipment reliability, and identify improvement process. Establish a strategic plan to assure reliability of new equipment. Cost, justify selected plan for implementation. Implement selected plan to assure equipment reliability. And Review reliability of equipment and adjust reliability strategy. These are all related to equipment reliability. And under organizational leadership, which is the fourth body of knowledge, we talk about how to determine organizational requirements, analyze organizational capability, develop the organizational structure, develop personnel, lead and manage people. And under work management, we'll talk about how do you identify, how do you validate, and how do you approve your work? How do you prioritize the work? How do you plan your work? How do you schedule your maintenance work? How do you execute maintenance work? Document, how do you document the work when maintenance activity has already been completed? Then how do you analyze if you are actually on track in terms of your processes towards achieving a equipment availability? Then when you analyze the area where you're lagging behind, how do you mitigate against it? How do you improve? An area where you are actually doing as expected, how do you sustain it? How do you measure your work management, your performance as far as maintenance work management is concerned? Then how do you plan and execute project? These are all the use of information technology and money, resources, and material. These are all what you stand to learn under work management. Then, till today, SMRP is still like expanding and they're still giving the best in terms of maintenance and reliability. And what is the benefit of being a member of SMRP? SMRP is a highly recognized society. It's increased exposure to different areas of the world of maintenance every year. Talk about aviation, talk about production environment, talk about power industry, talk about oil and gas industry, transportation industry, building environment, talk of as far as maintenance and reliability is concerned. Knowledge bank of many companies, because when you become a member, you have access to professionals in different companies worldwide. Then exposure to professional and developing professionals. It's also help in developing professional. Career-wise, you gain a lot when you become an SMRP member. Then when you earn the certification, what do you stand to gain? You have credibility, enhanced professional reputation. Then more or less nowadays, most jobs are being advertised with an added advantage of SMRP, CMRP. If you're certified CMRP, you have a edge ahead of who is not certified. And for you to pass the CMRP exam, you need to have the classroom training, which is like more or like 3 days, and it's also an intensive training, which is you have like 6 to 8 hours daily for 3 days. And aside that, you have books to read, and you have past exam question to practice as well. Then, when you go for the exam, you have nothing less than 110 objective questions to attend to, and you must score nothing less than 75% before you can pass the exam. And the exam is prometric based, and there are prometric centers. The prometric center in Lagos, there is in Abuja, there is in Port Harcourt, but I'm not too sure of other states within Nigeria. So when you write the exam, and in case you couldn't pass the exam, you have 6 months. You have to wait for another 6 months before you can retake the exam again. If you have previously taken the exam, you are not eligible to take it until after 6-month period has passed from the period time you took the exam. And I always try as much as possible to tell people that the only people I've seen that didn't pass the exam are people that didn't write the exam at all. And you have 2.5 hours for you to like attend to the exams questions. After 2.5 hours, you are expected to submit the exam, and you're expected to log out of the system you are using to write the exam at the Prometric Center. Like I said, you must score 75%. And as soon as you completed the exam, you get the result that you have passed the exam, and your certificate will be shipped or DHL to the address you provided when you are doing your registration within a span of for and that is all about CMRP. Then now I need to go to the business of today, which is predictive maintenance. Okay, before we start this, Mr. Kyle, how many types of maintenance do you know? Let's start from there. At least let's make the class to be as much as
Okay, good afternoon.
Mr. Akayode.
Good afternoon, Mr. Akela. Engineer Akela, how are you doing, sir? Predictive maintenance.
Kayode Ajagbe. Yeah, what type of maintenance do you know?
Oh, okay. I think you are calling another Coyote. So let me maybe actually.
Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Good afternoon, class. Okay.
Okay.
I know about predictive maintenance, reactive maintenance, breakdown maintenance.
You have reactive maintenance. You have preventive maintenance.
Breakdown maintenance.
Breakdown maintenance.
Corrective maintenance.
Corrective maintenance. Okay. Okay.
I'm trying to remember the fifth one.
Okay. Good. At least you've mentioned 4. Okay. Mr. Francis Agulo. What type of maintenance do we have? Mr. Francis Agulo. Can you help us with the type of maintenance that you know? Mr. Francis. Mr. Francis, I can't hear you. Okay. Mr. Olukayode said condition monitoring. Okay, good. Mr. Francis, you're actually not saying anything. Okay, Mr. Awal Abdusalam. Awal Abdusalam. I can see Awal Abdusalam. Please go ahead. Unmute your speaker. How many types of maintenance do we have? Okay, Mr. Bartlume Stephen, can you come again this time around? Mr. Stephen Bartlume. Okay, Francisca Gabriel, if you can hear me, please unmute your speaker and tell us the type of maintenance that you know. Francisca Gabriel.
Good afternoon. I'm not a maintenance person. I just saw the link to this and I wanted to learn more about it, about the certification. And I've gone online to the CMRP portal. So I've learned, I've read some things, and that's why I'm also here to learn more. My husband is an engineer, so I'll share with him.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Francis.
Yeah, this is Mr. Bello James.
Okay, Mr. Bello, go ahead, please.
Yeah, there are 3 types of maintenance. We have the preventive maintenance, we have the corrective maintenance, and we have the predictive maintenance.
Okay, so you mentioned 3. Okay. Okay, let me just call on one more person.
Okay,
again.
sorry. Can you hear me?
Okay, Mr.
Hello?
Sixtus. Mr. Sixtus.
Yeah, Sister Sunachi. So
Mr.
I think
Sixtus, go ahead.
I think they have mentioned all the maintenance, but scheduled maintenance is also one of them. So either you call it scheduled maintenance or you call planned maintenance.
Okay, planned maintenance. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I mention some?
I see Mr. Fumini Adeniro. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Yes, I have preventive maintenance.
Preventive maintenance.
Predictive. Corrective. Conditional.
Risk-based.
Failure findings.
Failure findings.
and run to fail maintenance.
Run to fail maintenance. We've all said it well, but let me now tell you that as far as maintenance is concerned, there are 4 types of maintenance. 4. It doesn't go beyond 4. Others speaks from that. You have, in the olden days, let me start with that. In the olden days, the kind of maintenance activity that have been practiced in the olden days is run to failure. You keep using the equipment until when the equipment breaks down, then you think about how do you repair it. Is referred to as reactive, or it is called reactive, or run to failure. Run to failure and reactive are the same type of maintenance, which is the usual practice in the olden day. Then, as technology setting in, we start talking about preventive maintenance. Preventive maintenance. And in the evolution of maintenance, the first one is reactive or run to failure. The second one is preventive. Then the third one is predictive maintenance. While the fourth one is proactive maintenance. And it is as a result of proactive, you started talking about condition-based maintenance. You started talking about online-based maintenance. You started talking about reliability-centered maintenance. We started talking about critical analysis, planned maintenance. These are all proactive maintenance. You are having 4 types of maintenance: reactive or run to failure, preventive maintenance, predictive maintenance, and proactive maintenance. And as far as maintenance and reliability is concerned, when you're talking about reliability center maintenance, there is an analysis, which is more or less like a domestic analysis that I'm going to give to us so that we can understand it better. Mr. Kayode Ajiboye, I can see you raising up your hand. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to inform you. I just want to inform you that you're not sharing your screen. We are not seeing your screen here.
Your slide is not changing.
I'm not changing.
Yeah,
I've not started predicting maintenance. I only want us to understand where predictive maintenance falls among all the 4 maintenance activities that were. So let me use a domestic example to explain to us so that we can understand perfectly the area where predictive maintenance comes into place as far as maintenance and reliability is concerned. In maintenance and reliability, and to be precise, in reliability center maintenance, there is something that is always referred to as PF curve. PF curve. Now, coming to the domestic aspect, when you wake up in the morning, you have an automobile you're using. The first thing you do is that before you set out in the morning, before you bring your car out, that you want to go to work, the first thing you're going to do is you check your engine oil level and you check your radiator water level. Now, your radiator has your engine oil gauge as the minimum level and the maximum level. The maximum level tells you that is the level to which your lubricating oil should be in your car. When you get to your car in the morning, you notice that the oil has reduced a bit below the maximum level. Immediately, there are some certain things that will run through your mind. You can easily tell what is actually going to happen to your car if nothing is done about that engine oil that is lower that you discover. And part of what can happen to your car is, you know, if you have to use that car, because your lubricating engine oil is performing 2 functions in your car, it's serving as a lubricant and at the same time is serving as a coolant. So if that engine oil nothing is done about it, you can know that your engine will run on high temperature. That is one. Then, if nothing is done, you won't have enough lubrication going on in your engine, within your engine. And when lubrication is not going on, you have your pistons and ring eroding against each other, which is friction. And with that, it will start causing a lot of gap, because there is a certain millimeter of gap that should be between your piston and your rings and your engine block. And when the lubricant oil is no longer in place, you will see that your oil will start having its way down to your combustion chamber. And when this happens, you start seeing your exhaust bringing out a black, heavy smoke. What you have done at that point in time is nothing but a predictive maintenance. You predicted what will happen, the likely fault that your car will have if nothing is being done about it. But along the line, you remember that you have an engine oil at home. You quickly pick up the engine oil, you put it inside your car in order to top up the engine oil, make sure the lubricant oil come back to the maximum level. That step you have taken is nothing but a reactive maintenance, a proactive maintenance, because you've been proactive in order to prevent a failure that your predictive technology has already told you. But let's assume at that point when you predict what can happen to your car, actually the failure has not occurred, but you've already noticed if nothing is done, that will result to a failure. That failure that you notice, that you've seen, despite the fact that it has not become manifested, you've not seen it occur. In maintenance and reliability, it is referred to as a potential failure. That is a failure that is about to occur. Now, let's assume that nothing is being done. You kept using the car, you kept driving the car until when the car engine finally packed up. What you have done is that failure that has occurred is referred to as functional failure in maintenance and reliability. You have waited until when the failure will become a functional failure. Then the period between when you notice the failure and when the failure now degenerates to become a functional failure will determine the kind of maintenance activity you are going to put in place. Either you have to use reactive, either you have to use preventive, either you have to use predictive, or to use proactive or reliability center maintenance. Now, how critical your equipment is will determine the kind of maintenance activity you are going to put in place. There are some equipment, it's not that run to failure or reactive maintenance is bad. It's not bad. There are some certain equipment that you can still do what is referred to as a run to failure. Your electric bulb, there's not any maintenance activity you can carry out on your electric bulb. You can run your electric bulb until when it fails. When it fails, you remove the old one and you replace it. But assuming you've already determined that for every 4,000 kilometers you use your car, you have to go and remove the engine oil. In order to put a fresh engine oil, you change the engine, the fuel filter, the oil filters. That is nothing but a preventive maintenance. That is the difference between reactive maintenance, preventive maintenance, proactive maintenance, and predictive maintenance. What your predictive tells you is what you are going to act on proactively. And that's why we have a lot of predictive technology we can use nowadays that will tell us if nothing is being done, this is the likely force that will happen to our equipment. And that's why we decided to, okay, for the sake of us contributing to the community, to the environment, to the teams of predictive, preventive and maintenance engineer, we say, okay, let's give this predictive technology training out free of charge. And when you're talking about predictive technology, these are, if you're working in an aviation industry, in building environment, in manufacturing industry, there's no how you will run a successful maintenance without a predictive technology being put in place. What do we stand to gain when you have a predictive technology, when you have practiced predictive maintenance? One, it helps you to reduce collateral damage. And what are collateral damage? You have it has a certain number of days it's going to actually stay at that seaport. And if you deviate and extend your duration beyond the approved period, you're going to be paying demurrage. And these are coming in thousands of dollars. But your crane has what is referred to as a gearbox. But inside the gearbox, you have, what are those things you have in the gearbox? You have gear teeth, you have bearings running in order to provide a drive. But when you are not predicting, when you don't use your predictive technology on this kind of what? Gearbox, you could run into losing your bearing, you can lose your gear teeth, and when this happens, your crane becomes non-functional. Your crane becomes non-functional means that the ship that you're supposed to offload will stay beyond the normal expected period, and you start paying demurrage because of that single failure. But when you have a predictive technology in place, you can predict this failure and you can eliminate this failure. You can prevent this failure from occurring. Then when you are having a predictive technology, you have time to plan your maintenance work excellently, because you can't run a successful maintenance without a successful planning and scheduling. Then you gain in time to do your corrective maintenance. Corrective maintenance is when a functional failure has already occurred. There is nothing you can do about it. The best you can do is to do corrective maintenance. You put the equipment back to what? To operation. This is the time you start talking about mean time to repair. Then you have time to do precision maintenance. We are talking about precision maintenance is when you're talking about how do you maintain balancing. When you're talking about balancing on your equipment installation. Then you have less spare parts. You know the right spare parts you need to stock. Because at times when you expedite spare parts, you could be storing spare parts that are not going to be useful for your maintenance activity for the next 1 year. And at times, maintenance spare parts could be as costly as running into millions of naira. If you are working in a power generation company where you have your turbines, your turbine engine, your turbine spare parts could be running into millions of naira. You can imagine when you have a turbine spare part that is running to almost about 50 million naira per unit, and you are having these 4 of these spare parts in your warehouse, because you are not doing your planning excellently, because you are not running your maintenance activity excellently. That means you are tying down nothing less than 200 million naira. These 200 million naira you are tying down could have been invested into the business, which you can use to generate what? Profit. But this capital you are tying down because you are not planning your maintenance activity very well. Then with predictive technology, you have more efficient use of maintenance time. You can reduce your downtime with predictive technology. Then, with your maintenance activity being carried out at the right time, you can extend the life cycle of your asset and your equipment. Then save work condition, because you can plan your maintenance activity ahead. Then you put the necessary things that are required into place. And what are these predictive technology? These are the few ones we're going to discuss today. There are some that are not part of this. You talk about oil analysis, you talk about wear particle analysis, vibration analysis, analytical thermography, mechanical ultrasound, motor circuit evaluation, then you talk about non-destructive testing. Then why do you run oil analysis? Mr. Deyinka Adebusi, can you help us shed more light in that area? Why do you do oil analysis?
Yes, we run oil analysis based on if you change the oil, you monitor the hours that the engine has run, and you do oil analysis so that you can know for a particular hour, because you are going to do your recording, you are going to do your data. When you take your data, when you do the oil analysis, you know you discover the element that are inside the oil at a particular hour.
Exactly. You know the element that are inside. What is exactly inside the oil that is not oil?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Go ahead.
Okay. For example, now if you are running a power generating generator, maybe gas engine or diesel engine, and the oil during the running hours, there are some maybe metals might have mixed, or water might have mixed with the oil. When you run your oil analysis, you'll be able to discover all this.
Thank you very much. Yeah, Mr. Francis, I can see you raising up your hand. Mr. Francis Agulo. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yes, I'm here. Good afternoon.
Right.
Okay, so another reason why you would run oil analysis is to monitor the viscosity level of that oil.
Okay.
So there are certain viscosity thresholds for different equipment, and we do not want to fall below that metric.
That threshold, yes.
So the predictive technology would help monitor this viscosity level and inform you when you are due to replace
the oil.
Yes, that is another reason why you do.
Excellent,
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Francis and Mr. And the other speaker. I really appreciate that comment. Okay, Mr. Olukayode, you dropped a comment. You said oil viscosity as well. So now let's talk about these are all collateral damage. You can see this bearing already giving way. This can be prevented if you have a predictive technology in place in your maintenance. This is also a gearbox failure. You can see is another peculiar view of a gearbox failure. This is a major catastrophic damage that could have been prevented if a predictive technology is put in place and a proactive approach is also being taken. Yeah, in terms of predictive technology, there's something called the silver bullet theory. What the silver bullet theory is actually telling us is that you cannot use one single predictive technology to prevent or to predict all equipment failure. And this silver bullet theory was more or less like a borrowed term. There was one American president that was assassinated some time ago. His name is John F. Kennedy. And when FBI carried out their investigation, they discovered that the same bullet that killed John F. Kennedy was the same bullet that killed the Texas governor that's sitting down adjacent to John F. Every technology has their area and their scope to which they can predict. You cannot use analysis to detect coupling misalignment, which is nothing but the truth. Vibration analysis cannot detect additive depletion for you in lubricant. And you cannot use analytical thermography to detect equipment imbalance. When you want to select any predictive technology, there are some certain things you need to consider. One, what is the purpose of that? What is the purpose to which you want to predict? What is the failure you want to actually predict? That is one. Then two, are you to buy this predictive technology and use in-house yourself, or you want a third-party contractor to be coming to your facility or your plant to come and carry out this predictive technology analysis for you? Then you need to weigh the two. You can do this in-house, get the equipment procured, get your staff trained, and put the equipment to use within your team. But every predictive technology requires some levels of training. There is level 1 training, you write the exam, you get certified. There's level 2, you write the exam, you get certified. There's level 3, you write the exam, you get certified, and there's level 4. So when you consider the cost of procuring the predictive tool and the cost of training your staff, and you discover that when you get an outsider or a third-party contractor to come and do that for you, whichever one is cheaper is what you are going to actually venture into. If doing it in-house is far, far less costlier, you can go ahead and get that done. If getting it done externally is far, far cheaper, you can get that done. But always ensure that the cost of the technology is not higher than the cost of the failure you are trying to prevent. If your technology is costing you like 7 million naira and you want to use it to prevent a failure of just 1 million naira or a failure of just 500,000 naira, it doesn't worth it. You can get an external vendor to come around, get that done for you, and you pay him off. So oil analysis, what exactly are we looking for when we conduct oil analysis? Moisture, oxidation, additive depletion, particle count, viscosity, acid and base numbers. Acid and base number. These are all we are actually trying to check when you do your oil analysis. And if I may ask, Mr. Francis, can we eliminate oxidation in oil, in lubricant? Mr. Francis Agulo, is it possible for us to eliminate oxidation in lubricant?
To eliminate oxidation in lubricant?
Yeah, is it possible?
So,
is it possible Is it possible for us to eliminate oxidation in lubricant?
Could you kindly expand on what oxidation in this context means, sir?
Okay, maybe in the course of this next slide, we're able to understand what oxidation is for.
Hello.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mr. James.
Yeah, it's not totally possible to
exactly. You cannot eliminate oxidation in lubricant. Go ahead, Mr. James.
Yeah, it's not totally possible because whether we like it or not, the oil is open to air. Even if it's in a drum, you still have a little space for it to have an interface with the oxygen. So it's totally not possible.
Actually, you're actually talking about moisture. What actually basically causes oxidation in lubricant is temperature, because as long as there is temperature, there will be oxidation. You cannot eliminate oxidation. You can only reduce it with additives. And that's why you see your oil is having additives. And once there is additive depletion in your oil, and that's why when you are injecting your oil into your equipment, the oil look golden, is either golden green or golden bluish color. It all depends on the manufacturer. And at the period when you want to service the equipment, the oil has turned to either a coffee black or chocolate black. This is as a result of additive depletion, as a result of what? Oxidation, because of every oil test should include moisture. Then most of the time, the location where your company is being located might determine if you are to do more of moisture or particle count. If you have your company located in the far north where you deal with a lot of dust, and your company is exposed, your equipment is exposed to a lot of dust from the environment, you do more of particle count. If you have your process plant or your company located somewhere around Lekki area in Lagos State, you do more of moisture, because you are more or less exposed to what? Moisture. So check for oil in neat oil. And reliability and maintenance is telling us that the allowable moisture content in your lubricant should be less than 1/10 of 1%. That is 0.001. That is the allowable moisture oil should have. Monitor increase in moisture on operating start reacting on that equipment as soon as it increases. 28 water in your pump. Class. How long should the bearing last? Then, when anybody is going to conduct you, specify, or you need to tell in order to moisture content in the oil. There are 4 methods, and I transfer infrared.
Hello, Mr. Engineer Manuel. We seems to have lost Engineer Manuel. Let's quickly let me get in touch with him. Probably has some network issues. Please kindly be patient. Thank you. All right, while we wait for Engineer Manuel, I want to believe that we have been gaining some useful information. Please, if you have learned something, please kindly just pop up some messages in the chat box while we wait for him. All right? Or you can simply just give a thumbs up using the emoji to indicate the level we are at the session. If we are learning, please just use the thumbs up, or you can pop up something in the chat box. All right. Itagwe, okay. Is that Emmanuel Cole? Yes. All right. Thank you, Emmanuel. It's good to know that you have been gaining some useful information. All right. Gideon Adesoji, yes. Good to know that you have been learning something. All right. Just so you know, before Engineer Emmanuel returns, this is just, okay, from Chineze Adefuke. All right, good to know you've been learning something. Okay, so I just wanted to, this is just an aspect of the CMRP training based, the CMRP syllabus, just an aspect of it, okay? Fumini Adeni Ron, thank you so much. So, of course, there is a full curriculum that deals with the CMRP, of which we have been providing certification opportunity for quite a number of individuals and organizations. At the corporate level, we have implemented CMRP training for companies like NLG, aside the ones that he already mentioned earlier. So if you intend to validate your knowledge in the maintenance and reliability space, you can be sure you can talk to us. Like I said, we have some very, very juicy opportunities that will be given out to those who will be interested. For the fact that you have attended this section, we have lots of goodies that will be given to you at the end of the session. All right. Okay, we have engineer Emmanuel back on the call. Engineer, I'm sure.
Sorry, it was a network issue.
I'm sure your technical hitch is not due to reliability failure.
No. We've already done a lot of analysis and gap analysis before. So we know where the gap is actually coming from. So we are trying to run a preventive maintenance optimization on it. Thank you.
Good to have you back, Engineer Emmanuel.
Thank you very much. Sorry for the little itch. Now, I said there are 4 methods you can use when you are doing your oil moisture test. There is crackle, there is FTIR, which is Fourier transfer infrared. There is centrifuge, and there is coefficient. Among them, the best that can give you, the best among them is the coefficient. That is the one that can give you your value to 0.001. Then oxidation. Oxidation cannot stop. We cannot stop oxidation. We can only delay it with additive and control of condition. Increased oxidation occurs from high temperature, moisture, and contaminant. These are what we call oxidation. Then additive depletion in your oil. If you know what additives are in our lubricant oil, we can test for them. When they are depleted, the lubricant oil will start to lose its lubricating capability. Then particle count. Total particle count tell you if the oil is gaining in particle or the equipment is making more of particle. This will tell you if there are particles, foreign particles in your oil. And major thing that can cause this is possibly there is when your gearbox is under grease or when your equipment is having low lubricant oil. It will cause most of the moving parts to start driving against each other. You start having foreign material like iron and all those stuff. So that tells you immediately you need to quickly schedule a preventive maintenance, shut down the equipment, discard all the old lubricants and inject a very fresh one after you have corrected the. Okay, Mr. Chukwemeka said I should explain oxidation again. Oxidation is a reactive as a result of heat. Once you subject your lubricant oil to heat, it will definitely have what we refer to as oxidation. And that the effect of oxidation in your lubricant is it will cause additive depletion. Once additive depletion occurs, your oil will lose viscosity. And once viscosity is being eliminated, there is no longer lubrication anymore. I hope you get it right now, Mr. Chukwemeka. So viscosity, the most important property of oil, and it must be monitored closely. Viscosity change with moisture, changes with oxidation, change with pH and contaminant. And let me tell you, your new lubricant, the pH of your new lubricant should be 7. New lubricant is expected to have a pH of 7. But the old used one has pH lesser than 6.5. And that's why, in terms of environmental code, you are not expected to drain into either to discharge to the sea or to the ocean a used lubricating oil because of its impact on aquatic living. Then acid-base number. Somebody is asking if there's going to be a certification after this. No, there's no any certification. You can come for the training. You can come for the full training. There's going to be certificate of attendance. Then when you write your exam, you get your CMRP certificate. This step will determine the pH of the lubricant. Establish this number when the oil is new and when you see a change. When you see a change, the lubricant is changing for a reason. This test show you the total acid number and total base number. So why do you run an oil analysis? Depend on the environment. Wet area need mode of moisture analysis, which I've already mentioned. Dirty area need mode of particle monitoring. and hot area need more of oxidation monitoring as well. Then we talk about oil analysis, perform oil analysis more often on highly critical equipment. Monthly on some equipment never get results within 24 hours and attend to it proactively, then establish alarm points. Then where particle analysis, you can do where particle analysis with a predictive technology called analytical ferrography. It can look at the particle and give you the picture. The analytical ferrography takes a picture of the particle and presents it to you in form of a normal. This is how analytical ferrography pictures look like. These are telling you the foreign material that is in your equipment. And you can see this can be translated into computer. There are a lot of software that can be used for this. You log in into your computer, you take the equipment to take all your analysis and you key it into your computer to extract all the information that the equipment has already taken for you. You can see this is a gearbox, this is an apron gearbox feeder. And in the month of May, when the analysis was carried out, the iron material in that equipment is 38. In June, 10. In July, it is 7. But in the month of August, 608. That is huge, which is actually higher than what you've seen before. This is actually telling you that equipment need. Please, I would suggest we pen our questions down to the end of the training. There is going to be question and answer section at the end of the training. So this is actually telling you that a proactive approach is what's required. And where particle analysis is more expensive, perform this analysis based on results from your oil analysis. And at times, some company goes to the extent of telling whoever is going to do the analysis, run the analysis for them to do both oil analysis and where particle analysis at the same time. Make some decision on what equipment to use this technology and let asset criticality or let reliability center maintenance process guide you. When you're talking about asset criticality is, it helps you in the area of maintenance and reliability. You know exactly where you're going to deploy your manpower and where you need to focus. How often to run them is based on the previous test or asset itself. Then when you're talking about mechanical ultrasound, this is basically used to test for what? Vibration. This is a pictorial view of mechanical ultra probe. This is another probe being used to check for sand, because in some of your equipment, for instance, in electrical, you have a contactor. This contactor produce an effect that is referred to as eking. This eking could be so lesser noise to the extent that even if you put your ear, you might not even hear the noise. And as a result of this constant eking effect, it could result to fire incidents. But with this predictive technology, you can easily audiolize it, know that there is an issue in that area, shut the equipment down, do a preventive maintenance, and restore the equipment back to operation. And in which you have already completely eliminate the failure that is about to occur. How does it work? The ultrasound can pick a frequency in the range of 20 to 100 Hz. It can be used on many applications in the plant process, and they are less affected by noise. That is what makes them very useful. You can use them to check your bearing. You can use them to listen to your gearbox. You can use them to do your lubrication. When you are doing lubrication, you can still use your ultra probe to listen to the sound you are getting. And the sound, with the sound, you can predict if the grease level in your gearbox is okay or not. This is still a pictorial view of it being in use. Now, what if you hear a sound that does not conform to the good condition? When you hear the sound, the next thing is for you to schedule a preventive maintenance and get it done. Now, initially, this mechanical ultra probe always finds itself in the mechanical equipment, but now currently is doing a lot of quality work as far as electrical equipment are also concerned. Electrical equipment can provide warning sound acoustically as well as thermally. Incorporating the audiolizing concept of the equipment, which is ultra probe, can with inspection can help us to understand the severity or how catastrophic a condition could be if nothing is being taken, if nothing is being done about it. Most often when inspecting electrical equipment with ultrasound, we would expect to hear little to no sound, but with your ultra probe, you can audiolize, that is, increase the volume of that sound that electrical equipment is producing. When sound is heard, it is important to know what might be considered inherent to the equipment and what could be done to prevent it, or possibly maybe you need to shut the equipment down for further examination in order to like prevent that breakdown from what occurring. Corona effect is another electrical issue which mostly happen on high voltage. With your mechanical ultra probe, you can easily visualize this without even getting near to the equipment. Is a glow of electrical discharge around conductor. That is what I'm not talking about coronavirus. I'm talking about corona effects on electrical cable. The areas where you can use this, the area where we can use our mechanical ultra probe, in the area of mechanical, you have your compressed air, your heat exchanger, your boiler, your condenser. In the area of electrical, you can use them on your switch gear, on your transformer, on your port insulator, on your junction boxes, and mechanical inspection on your bearing, on your pumps, on your electric motors, on your gearbox, or your compressors. Your mechanical ultra probe can record number value based on ultrasonic reading, a virtual chart of sound wave, and it can also give you an actual sound bite of the component. These are all you stand to gain with your mechanical ultra probe. Mechanical ultra probe, like I said, most of this predictive technology, you need to have certification on them before you can mostly use them. This technology can be used by anyone with little training. That doesn't have level 1, level 2 certification, but can produce effective results with one training session at the plant level. This predictive tool can guide the use of some of the other predictive technology. Yes. Then thermography analysis. Analytical thermography. Before, analytical thermography found its way excellently in the area of mechanical equipment, but now it has been expanded to function excellently in the area of electrical equipment as well. The number one use of this camera in the past was energy conservation. In plant where equipment is insulated to retain the heat of the process, this camera can detect bad insulation and hot spots. The advantage of this camera is that even when the equipment is even in operation and the equipment is even at a high temperature, you can still use the ultra probe to take your picture, and you can turn the picture into necessary pictorial view. But the bottom line is that before you can use this analytical thermography, you need to have an understanding of the emission of ion from materials. You need to have understanding of temperature. You need to understand of weight, and you need to have understanding of time. Otherwise, the picture you're going to take is going to appear in form of normal Android picture. The second most popular use of this is in the electrical area. This camera has the capability to detect hot connection. These connections are hot due to poor contact or overloading of that point in the connection. And with this camera, it is easier for you to detect any hot spot on your electrical terminals, and you can easily correct them before they will result into your fire incident. The thermal camera picks up infrared in the range of 9 to 12 millimeters. This is an invisible range to the naked eye. And these are all examples of pictures you can get from your mechanical ultra probe, your thermal camera. Like I said earlier on, you must have understanding of material. You must have understanding of time. These are all emissivity, that is emission of ion from material. Paint is 0.9, stainless steel. So if you want to take pictures with this thermal camera on paint, there is a level to which you're going to set that camera. You must set it at 0.9 emission factor, emissivity factor. This is how a thermal camera looks like. There are several numbers of them in the market today. There are pocket type. This is also an image from a thermal camera. This is a rupturing fuse. This point is telling us point is almost getting near to flaring. The fire incident is about to occur here, but with this, we can easily prevent that fire incident from what occurring. Other use of thermal camera technology is finding mechanical issue that sometimes goes undetected. Anything that is generating heat is using plant energy. If you are able to eliminate coupling misalignment, you are able to save 3 to 7% energy. Belt alignment, misalignment, 2 to 3% energy cost. The camera have many applications and uses in the industry for energy saving process detection, and document information. So vibration analysis. All items in a process have a natural frequency. In vibration, it is key to baseline machinery frequency and amplitude to determine machinery health and to recognize if something is changing. What I mean by baselining is that when you install an equipment and once the equipment is installed and commissioned, and it has worked for at least minimum of a week, you need to baseline, you need to do your vibration analysis and record that figure. Subsequent one will be compared to what you recorded when the equipment is still very brand new. That is what is going to form the baseline you'll be using to justify how the equipment, how that particular equipment should vibrate during operation. Vibration analysis is a predictive technology that, if performed correctly, gives more detailed information than any of the other technology. Vibration analysis is an art, and to take full advantage of this technology, you must use highly trained technicians. This or a pictorial view of a vibration analysis equipment. There's no how you talk about vibration analysis, you won't talk about amplitude, you won't talk about frequency, and you won't talk about phase angle. When you talk about frequency, that is how much movement occurs, that is in terms of displacement. And when you talk about frequency, how often the equipment is occurring in relation to RPM, which is rotational per minute or cubic per minute, cubic volume per minute. When you talk about the phase angle, you talk about vertical, horizontal, and axial. Most especially when you have your shaft and when you have your impeller and you are having a coupler that connects both your electric motor and your shaft together. That coupling, if it is not well installed, if the motor is not well installed and the shaft is not well installed and the coupler is not well done, you're going to have what is called vibration. And with vibration analysis, will tell you that it's imbalanced. It will tell you if there is misalignment, and it will also tell you if there was looseness. Then there's no how you talk about vibration analysis that you won't talk about some points. In electric motors, you have what is referred to as oil wheel and oil whip. Your oil wheel will occur when your RPM is, when vibration is 48% higher than the RPM of that particular electric motor, you're going to have oil whip. When the vibration of that electric motor is 48% higher than the RPM of that electric motor, the oil whip will occur when the vibration is 50% and above, that is greater than 50% of the electric motor RPM. That is the difference between oil whip and oil whip. And these are what vibration analysis can help you to prevent. And what are the areas where you can use vibration analysis? What can vibration analysis help you to detect? Coupling misalignment, bearing tears and wear, structural looseness, gear wear as well. Then these are all information you can detect, or you can use your vibration analysis to detect. Crack in gears, cavitation in your pump, shape run out, oil wheel, bearing, which of the bearing is bad, shaft bend, chain looseness, bearing ball problem, resonance, and you can also use it to determine which of the gear is bad as well. Then, don't forget, a vibration analyst must be either level 1, level 2, level 3, or level 4 expert. Then, if with vibration analysis as a predictive technology, if you are able to reduce a vibration by 5%, then you have increased the life of your ball bearing by 17% and other rolling elements by 19%. This is referred to as life extension factor in reliability and maintainability. So motor circuit evaluation is basically used on electric motor. And when you conduct motor circuit evaluation as a predictive technology, these are 5 areas where you are actually going to observe. You can do your evaluation online, and you can do it offline as well. You can do your motor circuit evaluation offline, and you can do it online. When you do it online, there are some certain parameters you can set, you can test. And when you do it online, there are some certain parameters you can test as well. But when you perform your motor circuit evaluation, there are 5 factors you are actually going to test. You want to know in terms of power quality. You want to check the insulation of that conductor, that is your winding. If there is insulation breakdown, you want to check the condition of the stator, the condition of the rotor, and is there air gap within the electric motor. Then when you do the motor circuit evaluation offline, this can be tested. You can remove, that means you have to remove the electric motor to the workshop to carry out those tests. And when you do that, you're going to do resistance to ground, capacitor to ground, phase resistance and imbalance, phase inductance and imbalance, and air gap, and then insulation quality. Okay, Mr. Paul, I get your message. Let me just use 2 or 3 minutes to wrap up this motor circuit evaluation. Less than 2% is expected. That means when you conduct your test, and when you do the conductor part to resistance, and you get less than 2%, this is expected and it is acceptable for the electric motor. Greater than 5%, you need to plan troubleshooting. Greater than 10%, you need to schedule effort to locate where the problem is actually coming from. With inductive imbalance, less than 10% is acceptable. 10 to 15% is acceptable when the equipment is in operation. Greater than 15%, you need to isolate and check the cause of that problem. Greater than 25%, you need to start planning on how to conduct repair. If it is 40%, this is telling you that the equipment will fail within a span of 1 week. And capacitor imbalance tells us that this is showing that the equipment has moisture. That's your electric motor gain in moisture as a result of storage, as a result of either poor storage or the area where you store the equipment. The electric motor is a wet area. So when you do it online, you're testing of the motor and wiring while the equipment is in operation. A lot of the same testing more can be performed. This test result can help us determine when a motor failure may occur months before it occurs. And when you do it online, you're actually checking for the flux linkage across air gap, inductive imbalance, and also you're also checking if there is a broken rotor bar, or there is poor air gap, or there is bulb. And when you do this, you have what is referred to as, you have static eccentricity and dynamic eccentricity. Those figures you can get. What are those information you can detect with your motor circuit evaluation? You can detect motor inrush current, high and low resolution, power quality, power circuit quality, stator in terms of impedance and imbalance. Then swirl effect, which is pole pass analysis in terms of your rotor poles. Eccentricity, which may cause increase in mechanical damage to winding or the coil or the insulation. Your motor circuit evaluation can help you to save energy in terms of dollar by finding and helping you to eliminate impedance, voltage impedance, and inductive imbalance uptime before the motor actually breaks down. You need to do this as well on your rebuild motor. Your rebuild motor is referred to as your repair motor. Your repair motor is not called repair under maintenance and reliability. You call it rebuild motor. And this is how far we can go today. Thank you for listening. And now we have question and answer. I'm going to open the portal for question and answer. And the way we're going to do it is you signify by raising up your hand. I'll call on you. You answer your question. Please, you can only answer one question. Because if you are asking like 5-10 questions, there won't be room for others to ask their own question as well. So just only one question per participant. Mr. Okoro Uchenna, so go ahead with your question.
All right. Let me first of all thank you, Engineer Emmanuel, for
thank you very much, Mr.
a wonderful presentation. I just wanted to ask, because when you started, you mentioned 4 types of maintenance, which forms parts where other types of maintenance takes lead. We have reactive maintenance, we have preventive maintenance, we have predictive and proactive maintenance.
Yes.
So
sir.
I just want to get the cue on the difference between the predictive and the proactive, because I know majorly what companies practice more and it's actually effective and saving cost is actually the predictive maintenance. And this helps us to try to know when an asset will get bad and try to tackle the issue before the issue arises. So predictive and proactive, it sounds more like the same. Can you just, in bullet points, try to explain what is the difference between the both of them? Thank you.
Okay. They're actually not the same thing. They differ. Your predictive will tell you a failure is about to happen. Then your proactive maintenance will tell you you need to take a proactive measure in order to prevent that potential failure that your predictive technology has already predicted for you. That's the difference between the two. And that's why the reason why I use the analogy of a car, that when you discover that your lubricant oil in your engine is below the maximum point, you can easily predict what is likely going to happen to occur to your car. Then the proactive approach you take is you top up the engine oil back to make sure the engine oil fall back to the maximum point. That is a proactive maintenance. I hope you get it better now, Mr. Uchenna.
I get you. It's just the confusion there is predictive has helped me to see the issue. I know I can also use corrective maintenance to correct what the predictive has seen. It's the proactive parts that I'm trying to wrap my head around.
Yes. You know, it is under your proactive that you start talking about reliability center maintenance.
Okay, now I get the point where you try to
that is when you start talking about
how long the shelf life of each equipment, when exactly you need to change them and all that.
That's when you start talking about failure mode and effects analysis. Those are all
it's clear now. Thank you.
You're much welcome. So, okay, another question, please. Or is only Mr. Uchenna that is having a question to answer? Please, more questions, please. I have a lot of people asking questions in the comment. Okay, Mr. Mohammed Osam, you said, how can I benefit from the certified maintenance and reliability professional certificate if I work in information technology? If you work in information technology, you have your internet networks. And if your routers, your switches are not reliable, if you don't factor in reliability center maintenance, these routers and these switches you could run into loss of millions of naira, you could run into loss of vital information and all this stuff. So when you are into information technology, you can do this one very, very. I have Mr. D. Saya. How can I carry out vibration analysis? You can carry out vibration analysis by using a predictive technology called vibration analysis. I think we've already said it now. Vibration analysis, you can use, these are all predictive equipment you can use for vibration analysis. That is exactly what I'm showing you on the current slide. Okay, Mr. Francis, please go ahead. Mr. Francis Agulo. Mr. Francis, go ahead.
Okay, so once again, Engineer Manuel, I would like to say a very big thank you.
Can you please help us mute your speaker? Mr. Isaiah, you're disturbing the slide.
Okay, I will mute myself. Sorry. I just want to make, I will mute myself, please. I will.
Thank you.
I will mute myself, sorry.
Thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Francis, go ahead.
Okay, so once again, I want to say a very big thank you for that wonderful presentation.
Thank you very much for listening.
And I would also like to point out that the session you just walked us through is somewhat very, very high level. And it will take a while.
I can hear you now.
Can you hear me? Okay, so I would like to also indicate that the session you just walked us through is somewhat very high level, and it will take some level of operational standardization to even reach that point of saying you want to start checking vibration analysis and the rest. So before now, I had the intention of deploying condition monitoring softwares and hardware systems that check these parameters on its own, and then real time it would transmit data, analyze, and give you a report on the health status of this equipment. So are there solutions that are accessible locally that covers these areas holistically? So for instance, we have OBD readers or OBD tracking softwares we can use for vehicles. So it can give real-time data and analyze this data and tell you what is wrong with your vehicles at any part or at any point in time and at any location they may be. So with that, you will be able to flag what issues are going on with these vehicles, and even tell your drivers that don't throttle at this position, check your radiator. I think there's something wrong. The temperature is spiking and all of that. So are there solutions for maybe packaging equipment and maybe heavy duty equipment as well?
There are several numbers of CMMS software that you can use in order to do that. But the basic thing you need to consider is that what is the exact information you want to pull out from that settlement? The information you required will determine which of this software you're going to use. Then the second thing you need to have in mind is that whichever one of these software that you are actually going to use, they cannot be 100% in terms of reliability. One way or the other, that's going to be one or two. But as long as that software can give you 90% of your expected output, that is the best thing for you. that Mr. A is using this software doesn't mean that is exactly what you're going to. You need to consider the information you want to pull out from that software before you can say, okay, this is what we needed to do. This is the one I need to pick. Mr. Francis, I hope that answered your question.
Yes, it does. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, any other question, please?
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Emmanuel Cole, I'll call you later. Let me attend to Mr. Dadison first. Mr. Emmanuel Cole.
Okay, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Emmanuel.
I appreciate your time and what you've done so far.
Thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel.
Okay, my question basically is about the CMRP certification.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
I didn't get that part when you were explaining it, so I don't know if you can run through it for me, please.
The CMRP certification is, the full meaning of CMRP is Certified Maintenance and Reliability Professional. And the body that handles that is SMRP CEO, which is Society for Maintenance and Reliability Certifying Organization. This certifying organization reports to Society for Maintenance and Reliability Professional. You can be a member of SMRP. You can be a member of Society for Maintenance and Reliability Professional. And you can be a member, you can write the exam. It is only when you write and pass the exam that you now become a certified maintenance and reliability professional. That's the difference between the two.
Okay, how do we get to that?
Yeah, Mr. Pius.
Okay, so thank you so much. Before we take other questions, for the sake of the question that Davison just asked, maybe I should quickly share the classes that we have coming up before we take other questions. So maybe probably for those who might be in a hurry to want to get that information quickly. I don't know if I can go ahead and do that.
Go ahead, Mr. Pius.
Yes, sir.
All right.
You can go ahead, sir.
Okay, so earlier I did mention that we have some offers for those of us who might want to take advantage of our classes. Like one of you mentioned, we just gave you a tip of what the maintenance and reliability training is all about. All right. As mentioned by Engineer Emmanuel, the CMRP, the Certified Maintenance and Reliability Professional, is a certification program which is validated by the Society for Maintenance and Reliability Professionals. In fact, prior to now, before we have just a select few individuals holding this certification all around the world. In fact, in Nigeria, just a couple of years ago, if you want to acquire this certification, you have to either go to the UK or you go to Ghana for you to be able to acquire this. But as the learning environment changes, the opportunity started opening up. In fact, we're one of the companies that brought CMRP certification training and exams to Nigeria. And since then, we have certified several hundreds, if not thousands, of individuals within Nigeria and also outside of the country, both at individual and corporate level. So we have a class, if you want to validate your of maintenance and reliability, and you want to get a full package of this training. So our training provides you with the exam preparatory class, which is aligned with the SMRP body of knowledge. All right. So apart from the class, we also have any management system that where you take further preparatory activities that will ensure that you pass the exam at fourth sitting. We have had up to 90% pass rate since we started do this training. So we have a class coming up in June 8th, 9th through 15th. Okay, that's more like a weekend program. So ordinarily, our discounted fee for our training for this particular certification, you can see it from my screen. I don't know if you can see my screen. Please kindly confirm if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes,
Yes, you can see your screen.
Okay, so
Yes,
you can see we originally had a discounted fee of 118,900, which is equivalent to $100. But for the sake of those who attended this webinar, we are giving you a rate of 80,000 naira, 80,000, an equivalent to 75,000. Only $75, I mean, only if you make full payments before the 31st of this month, which is May, and you are ready to join the June class, okay? You make payments on or before the 31st and ready to join the June class. All right, we also have a second option. If you are going to make 50% advance payment now, okay, on or before 31st, and pay the rest before the 7th day of June, just a day before the program starts. And you must also join the June class. That is the terms and condition. Of course, we also know that some of you might be busy and may have locked some of activities for that date. So we're also giving you opportunity not to be left out. So we are saying, if you take advantage of this package, but you are ready to join any of our other classes aside June, you can pay 105,000, which is equivalent to $90 for those who are paying from outside the country. Okay, so you are joining other badges other than the June badge, so you can also have the opportunity to pay in installment. We also understand that some of you may, despite being in maintenance, might also have interest in other programs. So you can see our project management training and the dates, which is in June. The discounted offer for this class is $58,500 and $50 equivalent. We also have for business analysis, the same fee, Scrum Masters, Agile, Certified Practitioner. Then we have Prince 2 Foundation and Practitioner. We also have Primavera. So if you need to make your payment in line with the terms and conditions reeled out in the first slide, you can screenshot this slide that contains the account details. Dexnova Consulting Limited for Naira payment, which is GTB. Then for dollar account, GTB as well, you can also pay. As soon as you make that payment, you can send your payment receipt or proof of payment to the emails, the two emails addresses in this slide, so that we can confirm your payment, send you your receipts, and start onboarding you for the class. I can assure you, once you attend our classes, you can be rest assured that when you go into the exam, you are going there with full confidence and you pass the exam at first sitting. Let me make it known that this fee you are paying covers only training. If you want to write the exam, there is applicable certification fee and membership, which is denominated in dollar. It is a fee that you can find on the CMRP website. All right. So those are the information and the packages I have for you, just for you, for attending this session this afternoon. Do I have any question, please? I'll quickly take those questions so that we can hand over, the baton back to Engineer Emmanuel to properly take the remaining questions and wrap up the class.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Mr. Emmanuel.
Sir, I am Raj from Singapore.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
I don't know. Someone is talking. Hello, this is Cole
Okay,
Emmanuel.
someone else is talking. Someone else is talking. Yes.
Can I talk, sir?
Yes, I can hear you. That's Tanaj Raj, right?
Raj, you can call me Raj. R-A-J Raj.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Sorry about that. Pardon me.
Okay, Raj, Tanaraj.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, sir, our time, Singapore time, and your time, what is the time you will conduct the class?
Okay, so our classes are usually...
It is 12 o'clock, night 12 o'clock now.
Okay, so I know you are calling from India. You joined us from Indian, if I'm correct, right?
No, it is from Singapore.
Pardon?
From Singapore.
Okay, from Singapore. Okay, so our classes is flexible in such a way that our classes usually start from depending on what we agree. Our classes usually start sometimes 12 noon Nigeria time or 10 a.m. Nigeria time for Saturdays, and if it's Sundays, we usually start at 12 noon. So I don't know, 12 noon will be what time in Singapore? 12 noon GMT plus 1.
GMT plus 8 hours.
GMT plus 8 hours. So that means it will be say 8 p.m. in Singapore. Would that be correct?
Okay, now simple.
Or
Now
7
12
p.m.
p.m., 12 a.m. now, and 30 00 hours now. Then what is the time there? Your time now.
Okay, our time here is 4:55 p.m. Just 5 minutes before 5 p.m. GMT plus 1.
4:55 p.m. So you are starting at what time?
We will start the class for Saturdays is starting by 10 a.m.
10
for
a.m.
10 a.m. GMT plus 1. So that will probably be...
Is it Saturday, Sunday class or other day class?
Pardon?
This 8, 9, and 15 is coming on what day?
It's starting on
Saturday, Sunday,
June...
weekend or weekday?
Okay, it's a weekend. Like I said, I don't... Okay, so June 8th is actually on a Saturday. Okay. Then we also have 9th. Then we have 15th.
Okay. So you are starting Nigeria time morning 10 or 12 o'clock a.m. Morning. Right?
Yeah, yes, that's correct.
So how many hours you will conduct the day? 4 hours or 5 hours? Every 8 and 9 and 15.
Okay, so for example, if we start at 10, we do an average of 6 hours. 6 hours per day.
Okay. So what I'm saying, sometime I'm busy with my work or shop or office. So in that case, do you give study material for me, online study material or some material? If I am unable to attend the class, at least
like I said, aside the virtual class, the interactive virtual class, there will be recording of the class. We are going to record the class and make the recording available to all participants at the end of the training. Then we are also going to provide you all the exam preparatory materials that you need to actually attend the program. Okay.
So that is good. So you will give your training recording as well as preparation of exam, plus any study material you can give, some like chart or something like that.
Yes, we will send you the study materials. We will send them to you. Then we'll also give you access to our learning management system where you can continue with your preparation for the exam.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Because my aim is I want to study the MLE, that is MLE course, but 30%, first to 14 chapter, it is covering the reliability CMRP syllabus.
Okay, so we have all the...
30% of the MLE positions here.
All right. So
Then
so what
as a professional engineer, I can try CMRP also if possible.
Sorry, I didn't get that part. I didn't get the last part.
No. Just I will try for MLE. So 30% of the marks coming from the CMRP syllabus. And also I will same time I will try for CMRP also, which is they are telling tough subject for me.
Oh, I'm actually struggling to get that information. So what you could do, you could drop your phone numbers and your email address directly on the chat box so that we can directly communicate with you.
No,
would that be fine?
Already your side they given k.thanraj@ags.com. My phone number also they have. I will send an email back to you.
Okay.
From
okay.
AGS,
Okay.
my name k.thanraj@ags.com.
Okay. Okay.
You have already. I received the mail today. That is why I attending. So you
okay.
send.
So you have taken note of the email addresses on the slide, right?
Yes. So email
Okay.
you. Then my main thing is I want a study material. If I am unable to attend, then recording I will go through. Then I will attend the exam.
All right. It's fine. That's fine.
The only thing is
okay.
the recording. Sometime I may not understand. That's why I am attending today.
Okay, so like I mentioned, we are going to send the study, the recording, the video recording to those who will attend the class.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay. Thanks.
Okay, somebody is asking how much is the certification exam. Okay, so there is an amount, there is a membership amount of about, I think 179,000, approximately 180,000, $180 rather, okay? So that is for membership. Then the exam fee in itself is about 280 something. Let's just say approximately 300. So in all, you need about 480 to $500 for you to be able to write the certification exam. You can find the information on CMRP website. For those of us who are outside the country, for you to actually get this training elsewhere, you are actually probably going to pay a fortune, okay? So that, I'm sure that answered your question, Mr. Peter Jeremiah, right? Okay, so someone is saying, please share the slide with everyone. Thank you for the clarity, for more clarity. We are going to do that. We'll share the slide. We'll share this slide that has the information on payment. Okay? So if you want us to probably quickly reach you, you can also drop your email address on the chat box. Okay? Thank you very much. Engineer Emmanuel, let me hand over to you here to quickly wrap up. Thank you.
No, my hand is still up, but you've not answered me. I have a concern.
Okay, sorry, Mr. Emmanuel Cole. Okay, go ahead, please.
Yeah, my concern is I spoke with one of a lady from your office, and she said the discount is, I can't remember. Let me just go straight to the point.
Okay.
She said the discount is over, that I will pay the original amount. And on the 16th, I paid that 118,000 naira. And now it's being discounted. You can see
okay, so
I'm not.
Okay, sorry, Mr. Emmanuel. You know the way this thing works. As at that time, we didn't have this plan out. We didn't have this plan. Okay, you know the way it works. You can buy something at a supermarket today. Tomorrow you are coming, you see that they are doing a discount on it. So please.
No, there was discount already. There was discount already on it. So, but when I say she said the discount is the time for the discount is over.
Yes.
I said, no, so fine.
The way it works, most times our discount window doesn't really last long. It could be a day, it could be 2 days, like this one we have now, that is elapsing 31st. That is just about 3 days away from now. So when someone calls after 31st, he can say, oh, I was in the class and you said you were doing so discount. So it works that way. So what I can assure you, for attending this session, I could actually give you, as I'm saying give you, probably you are expecting, no, maybe I would say I will give you some money back. No, what I could do for you is to give you an opportunity to take one of our PDU courses on our LMS. I will give you that as a bonus. Or maybe when you, if you have interest in any of our other certification programs, I could actually compensate you in that aspect. Maybe PMP, any other one. So just hold on to me for that. I will make it happen. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm sure you are enjoyed this session today.
I do. I still have a question that I'm waiting for Engineer Emmanuel.
Mr. Engineer Emmanuel. It's all right. Yeah. So any other question before I go? Okay, someone sent an email. Okay, someone asked earlier if there is there a similar certificate from the same organization that is useful and is specific to information technology? CMRP is mainly maintenance, mainly maintenance and reliability. But we have other IT programs that could benefit you. If you are talking about CISA, that's Certified Information System Auditor, you are talking about TOGAF, you are talking about COBIT, ITIL. We can even Scrum. Scrum is mostly IT related. We run classes in this area, so we can have a discussion in that regard and determine which one best suits the kind of job you do. All right, Mr. Mohammed, I don't know if I've been able to answer your question. Hello, Mr. Mohammed.
Yes, it's good. I am with you. So, okay. Thank you for this section. So, my next question, you mean, what do you mean exactly, Scrum?
Scrum is, Scrum is a framework within the Agile process. So, Scrum is mostly adopted by those who are into product development in the information technology space. So, okay. So is more or less a new certification that a lot of organizations are using as an agile framework within the IT space.
Agile, so Agile and Jira and so on. So
yes, when you talk about Jira, Confluence, and the likes, you okay. Understand?
Good. Yes. So is there someone contact with me or which site I can log in to take this information actually?
So you can talk to us on that. You can drop your email address and we'll send you information regarding that. Or you send us an email. Let me share my. You can see the information on the slide. Our email, you can send direct email to me, pius.ivaroga@dexnova Consulting, or you send to divine.christian@dexnovaconsulting.com. All right?
Okay, clear. Thank you for this information.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mohammed.
Thank you.
Okay. So any other question that relates to the information I have given so far before I hand over to Engineer Emmanuel to wrap up?
Yes, my name is Hitler. I joined from Delta State, Nigeria.
Okay, Hitler, good day.
Yes, my question is, do you have a classroom mode for this training?
Yes, we do. We do either, it could be customized for organizations. Sometimes we go on site, sometimes they come to our facility. So we also do open classes for people like you who might want to also attend the classroom section. But the fee for the classroom is different from the virtual, which we just read out. So if your interest is in the classroom, physical classroom, we can have a discussion on that. You can send us an email and we'll take it off from there.
Okay, I actually have done so, and I think Mercy Tom was the one I was corresponding with. So she has given me the calendar for the classroom mode. I was expecting maybe we also say it here so that I will be sure. But with your
Okay,
answer,
sorry.
I know
What's the name of the person?
Mercy Tom.
Mercy Tom. I'm trying to. Okay, so my call. Are you not referring to Divine Christian?
Maybe I'm mixing up the name, but a lady, I chatted with her. She sent me the mail.
Yes, and she gave you a date, I think, for June ending. Is that correct?
I will. Yes, something.
June, yes, sometimes June ending. Yes, I'm aware. She had that discussion with me. So yes, we run physical classes as well. So because this was mostly virtual, so we just decided, okay, since people are joining from outside Lagos and outside of the country, we decided to focus on the virtual. So we are well on course for the physical. All right.
Okay, no problem.
Yes. Thank you very much, Hitler.
Thank
okay.
you.
So any last question before engineer takes wrap up? Okay, so from my end, I want to thank each and every one of you. Please, if you intend to take advantage of the June section, you can reach out to the details that are below, or you can reach me directly on 080-3764-7027. That's my WhatsApp number, direct WhatsApp number, if you intend to quickly reach me. Okay.
Can you excuse me? Can you write your number again in the chat, please?
Okay. So let me do that quickly. So while I'm doing that, Engineer Emmanuel, you can take over the class from here.
Thank you very much, Pius. So I think I have somebody else to attend to, Mr. Emmanuel Cole. You're about to ask a question the other time.
Yes, I'm still here waiting. Yo, well done, my namesake. Well, thanks for the eye opener. You know, every day you see something, you think you know it all, but whenever you attend the class, you grab something new and you get to know that you don't know anything.
Thank you very much.
There is this. Yeah, thank you, sir. So there is you mentioned about piling up. What is that statement again? About keeping some space, stocking capital or whatever. Yeah. But in my place of work, we have things that we call consumables.
Okay.
They are spares because they go often bad compared to other items. Maybe, for example, let me just use the list of maybe a spark plug.
Okay.
They are consumable, but they are expensive though. But the rate you use a spark plug and the rate you use maybe a clutch is different. You understand? Because the failure rates are one is higher. But sometimes too, because of a product that you buy, a particular brand of plug that you buy, maybe or a manufacturer or a supplier that will give you that plug, it will make you review the amount of consumable you will get. Do you get me?
I'm getting your point.
It will make you review the amount of consumable. So how does that affect your keeping capital, money that you would have used to do something else? You now use those money to go and buy, because if I now compare myself with a company B now, they are buying less amount of plug compared to me that I'm buying more of plug. I would have used that money to do more things that can bring profit to the business. So I'm just looking at that angle.
Okay. Well, if you actually been following, you're going to understand that better, because one of the advantages of predictive technology is that we are not doing spare part expediting. Spare part expediting is that you are buying in excess or you are buying lower than what you required. With predictive technology, you know exactly what you need and you know the time you need it. So if you need 10 spark plug when you are carrying out your preventive maintenance, whatever, there is something in my in procurement that is referred to as open purchase order. At times, if you know you have a vendor that is closer to you that can easily supply you within a tinkle and you can give that vendor an open work order. An open work order means it is not closed.
Okay.
You understand? Now, when you want to carry out, that means the supplier is actually buying those items, keeping them in his own warehouse. You are not the one buying, you are not the one paying. You've not even paid him money. So whenever you need that particular item, you just call on the supplier. I'm carrying out my preventive maintenance on Thursday, and today is Monday. I need you to supply me those items by tomorrow. That means that spare part is expected to get to your warehouse by Tuesday. While Tuesday it gets to your warehouse, and by Wednesday, you've already consumed it. And by Thursday, you consume it when you are doing your preventive maintenance. And you pay off the guy. That is different from when you buy like 100 pieces because you need to like stock for a whole year. Because you are not doing, you know, in a reactive mode. There are some certain things you don't need that you even buy.
Sure.
That is exactly what spare part expediting is actually telling us as far as maintenance availability is concerned. You are buying based on what is required, not you are just guessing. Okay, let me keep 4. Oh, let me keep 3. You are doing estimating. But that is different from, you know that, okay, when you service your generator, you need 50 liters of lubricating oil to service your generator. And you know that you service your generator once in a month. So at the beginning of the month, you can buy just only that 15 liter and keep it in your warehouse. By next month, you buy another 50 liter, keep it in your warehouse. It's different from when you, because of the fact that you don't even know what to use, you just went ahead and bought all the engine oil that you last in a year and bought it in the month of January. And this engine oil are being kept in your warehouse. They are not being used until December. Some of them will not be used until December. You are tying down capital. And these are one of the advantages of predictive technology. I hope you get it right now, Mr. Emmanuel.
I do, but reality in this Nigeria, where I'm still going back to my belief seriously. Because you're
actually, because the reason why you are buying those items, because you have a pre-knowledge of the usage. You know what you are using. You are not buying in excess. You are buying, even if at all you are going to buy extra one, assuming for each of your preventive maintenance, what you are using is 10. Even if at all you want to buy extra, the extra doesn't mean you are going to buy another 10 again, making it 20.
Yeah. Okay.
You might buy 12. You could buy 11, you could buy 12.
Buy 12, yeah.
Exactly. That is different from when you went ahead and buy 25.
No.
You are tying that money. That money could be used for something else.
Okay.
I hope it's a bit clear now.
It's clear. It's clear.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. But if I may contribute, this is Hitler.
Okay, Mr. Hitler, please go ahead.
Sometimes the challenge organization faces that the producer of this lubricant oil, this lubricant, they tell you that there are times in a year that they will not have stock. And so if you on your own organization don't have a standby stock and you need to do your preventive maintenance, it means you will run into problems. I actually attended one session like this where these producers recommended that if you run the analysis of the oil usage that all your equipment can consume, that you can actually buy them and stock for that period of maybe 10 months, 12 months, because there are times in year when you need them and they are not producing. So what do you do?
Okay. You know, in procurement as well, and that's part of what your job is as a maintenance personnel. Most of the time, good relationship, quality relationship with whoever is supplying you goes a long way. For that kind of a scenario, you can issue out an FPO to the supplier. The FPO has terms and conditions, it becomes binding. You may not pay at that point in time. Once you give them an FPO, you have to supply me so for this complete 1 year. You need a lubricant oil of 400 liters every month. You can issue out an FPO. 400 into 12 will give you 4,800. If I'm not mistaken. So you can issue out a single FPO covering that. Then it has been agreed that they have to supply you for 400 liters on a monthly basis. Now it is not the responsibility of the oil producer to make sure he keep your stock intact so that whenever you need it, he can easily supply you. Don't forget, based on good relationship and good negotiation, you may not need to pay for those oil. The vendor will produce the oil based on the PO that you have already issued out and stock it at their own warehouse. You didn't pay. The money is still with you. Your money is still with you. They have already produced and stock it in their warehouse. Now, it is also to their own advantage. Part of the advantage is that they don't need to start looking for a buyer to buy the oil. They already have a buyer who is going to buy it. You are the major buyer that you are going to buy it. They produce and stock it for you. When you need it, you call on them, they supply. Then you can do pay as you supply. It's possible.
Okay, I'm seeing a sense in it.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Okay, I saw somebody raise his hand as well the other time. I'm going to take just only one more question before we call it a day. Okay, the last but not the least question. The last but not the least question. Okay, Mr. Shem. Mr. Shem, go ahead.
Yeah, good evening. Can you hear me?
Good evening, Mr. Shem. Good evening. Go ahead.
Okay. I raised my hand earlier on, but you later came back and provide a better exposition on the topic of procurement, because definitely it's a dynamic decision.
Yeah.
And the decision to stock on the basis of your plant maintenance systems. I work in the marine sector, so I understand the dynamism behind all these procurement decisions. You've already provided an explanation.
Thank you very much.
My hands. Thank you very much. Yeah.
So thank you everybody for today. Looking forward to see you in our June training. Thank you, everybody. And do enjoy the rest of the week. Somebody drop a chart. You mentioned 2 acronyms. RPM. RPM is rotation per minute, and CPM is cubic per minute. Thank you, everybody. And
all right, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Engineer Manuel. We truly appreciate your expertise and the time you shared with us this afternoon. Thank you so much.
You're much welcome, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We'll get across with additional information. We'll send you a mail shortly. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.